I'm Brianna, and I'm going to lead you through our yoga practice today. This is day 1 of a 7-day yoga challenge, and our focus today is on preparing. So, to be prepared, if you like to use yoga props in your practice to create space where you need it or to bring the floor closer to you, I invite you to grab 2 blocks and keep them handy so that you can grab them when you need them. If you don't use props, don't worry, you don't need blocks. You don't have to have them. So nobody start freaking out, okay? But if you like to use props or you want to give it a try, go ahead and grab 2. If you don't have blocks and you want to try it, grab 2 firm, like super firm decorative pillows, or maybe 2 thick dictionaries or encyclopedias. But you don't need anything to do this practice. You don't even have to use a yoga mat, although it does help cushion you from the floor, especially hard floors like tile and wood. So now that we are prepared, let's get started in child's pose. Take your knees out wide. Let your big toes touch and send your hips back. Walk your fingertips forward and let your forehead rest down either on your mat or you could rest it on a block. I want you to take a moment here to arrive onto your mat. So feel your mat or the floor beneath your fingertips. Take note of that sensation. Take a moment to soften through your shoulder blades and let your shoulders and your upper back melt down towards your mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a long, slow exhale out through your nose. And again, deep breath in, letting your hips sink down as you exhale. Throughout the yoga practice, if you start getting your mind carried away by thoughts about the future or the past, I want you to come back to your breath, following every inhale and every exhale. I want you to feel whatever your fingers are touching or the bottoms of your feet and tune back into the present moment. Take one more deep breath in here. Long, slow exhale out. And then come up to tabletop. Find your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And we'll take a cat-cow because you will find this in many, many yoga classes, and it's great for warming up your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your chin, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, press your spine up towards the ceiling and tuck your chin. Inhale, drop your belly, pull back on your hands without moving them. Exhale, really curve your spine up. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. From here, find that neutral tabletop and we'll take downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, send your hips up and back. Press out of all 10 fingers. Press your heels down into the mat or towards the mat. I want you to look at your heels and make sure your feet are straight. So you don't have your heels turned in or your toes turned in. Take one more deep breath here. This is a great resting posture once you build the upper body strength to hold it comfortably. And then come back to tabletop. Bring your knees down, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. From here, we'll find low lunge. Bring your right foot between your hands. And this is a great spot to use blocks, especially, again, everybody's body is different. Your body is different than mine. So if you have a larger belly or larger breasts, blocks come in handy here in low lunge. You can create some extra space here. So everybody's body is different, remember? So you gotta customize your practice for you. So if you want to, use your blocks here. Otherwise, you can always bring your hands down to the mat. Another option here, interlacing your fingers and gently placing them here on top of your thigh. No matter where you find your hand placement today, I want you to keep your heart lifted, gaze lifted. Take a deep breath in here. Long, slow exhale out. And again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feel some softening in your left hip flexor. See if you can stop clenching and gently release your hip down without adjusting where your legs are. From here, we'll take a twist, planting your left hand, reaching up with the right. So if you are using a block, you might want to change the setting, but you might still be able to take the twist here, but it might be difficult. So find your hand placement with your left hand, and then try to stack your shoulders, opening up your heart to the right. Right hand is reaching up. If this is hard on your wrist, option to make a fist here. And gently release. From here, we're gonna find warrior one. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, scoot your back foot up. And again, even if you're using blocks, you wanna find heel to heel alignment. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle. And then we're gonna rise on up. Arms are reaching up. Keep a nice bend in your front knee. You've got knee right over your ankle here. Turn your hips a little bit towards the front. And be strong here. Take one more deep breath in, reaching through your fingertips. You're reaching for what you want. You're reaching for your goals. And then find your hands, clasp them behind your back. So you've got your fingers interlaced here. Roll your shoulders back. And then gently fold forward, bringing right shoulder down towards your right knee, lifting your hands away from you. And you're really strong in your front leg here, but you're also pressing into your pinky toe side of your back foot. Gently rise back up, warrior one. And then we'll find low lunge. So windmill your hands down, step your back foot back, drop your back knee, untuck your back toes. Low lunge. Option to add space. From here, we'll go back to child's pose. We'll take a few breaths just to recenter ourselves. So slide your right foot back, tabletop, and then find your child's pose, walking your fingertips forward, resting your forehead down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Taking some time to prepare ourselves. Gently come back through tabletop. And then let's find downward facing dog again. So tuck your toes and your hips up and back. We're just going to hold here for 2 breaths. And then find tabletop. This time, left foot comes between your hands and find your low lunge. Again, always have the option to make space here. While you're releasing your right hip, you're not clenching, you're just letting it drop towards your mat. I want you to think about what it is that you want. What is it that you've been desiring? If it's a new house, a new car, a new job, and ask yourself, what have you done to prepare to have those things? How do you take care of the things that you already own? So if you have an apartment, or maybe you already have a house, but you just want a different one, how are you taking care of that thing that you already have? If you want a car, but you normally walk or take the bus, how have you been taking care of your body or your bank account in order to have a car? Your body, just because, in the meantime, you're going to be walking, right? But your bank account, is your bank account prepared to have a car? What have you done to prepare for that? So just something to think about. When we often want things, but then we already have things. So how are you appreciating what you already have and showing the universe that you're going to care for whatever abundance comes into your life next? Let's take our twist. So plant your right hand, reach your left hand up. Deep breath in, and then release. Let's find a warrior 1. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, hop your back foot up just a smidge, check your heel to heel alignment, rise on up, and breathe. Always coming back to your breath. Even in life, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're not sure if you can keep going on, you're not sure if you're strong enough, not sure if you have the willpower, come back to your breath. As long as you have the ability to keep breathing, you can make it work. You can finish this class. You can make it through the day. All right. Hands come behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. Press your fists down. And then start to press your fists away from your back as you fold forward, bringing left shoulder down towards your left thigh, left knee. Pressing your hands away from you, opening up your heart here and your shoulders. And then rising back up. Find your warrior 1. You are strong. You are either reaching for what you want here or confidently carrying the weight of your world. You've got this. Let's come down. Find your low lunge. And then find your tabletop. From here, we're not going to go back to child's pose. We're going to come on to our backs. And we're going to find a bridge pose. So keep your feet on the mat, knees pointing up. Arms are long beside you. And you're gonna peel your hips, lower back, mid back, upper back off the mat, pressing through your heels, lifting your hips. If you suffer from low back pain, this might be a pose you incorporate into your practice often. If you work at your desk, same thing. Sitting all day, it can shorten your hips. So we're lengthening things out here, and we're also activating our glutes. Keep pressing through your heels and gently release all the way down. And we'll take happy baby. Bring your knees in towards your armpits, and then you can reach for your thighs, your calves, ankles, the outsides of your feet, or even peace fingers around your big toes. Take your feet out as wide as they want to go, but keep your knees in towards your armpits and keep your feet pointing, the flat side of your feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Come back to your breath here. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. I know in these slower classes, sometimes people feel like it's a waste of time, or especially people that are used to vigorous exercise. But slowing down has its benefits too. So don't let your brain tell you you're being unproductive here. You cannot be go, go, go all the time. You've got to slow down sometimes. Gently release your feet or your thighs and bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and show yourself some gratitude for making it to your mat today. Whether you're preparing for a good night's sleep, a good day, a good rest of your week, this was productive. Doing something for your body and for your mental health is productive. Go ahead and release your legs long, arms beside you. Maybe kick your blocks out of the way. And take your Shavasana. Shavasana is very important. You need to let your practice sink in. And you need to give your mind a chance to relax too. If you let your mind take a break now, it'll be more prepared to handle whatever you have going on after this. So don't steal from yourself by skipping your Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you like. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening.